Hi, it's Sheridan Webb here of the Training Designers Club, which is the place to go for practical L&D support, especially if you work on your own. And today you'll notice I'm looking slightly different. I've got a slightly different background, and that's because we have been decorating. Long overdue, we've turned our teal wall into this sort of terracotta colour. And it's prompted another musing because this has been most helpful. A whole roll of masking tape. Absolutely brilliant. Now, when I first moved in with my husband and we were decorating, he was putting this masking tape all over the place. And I'm like, why are you doing that? Because when I was younger and my dad taught me to decorate, we didn't use it. We just, we just painted and it was fine. We didn't need to put anything in there. But it was only since we've used it, because we don't decorate very often, that it really has been fantastic just to help make sure that we don't splodge paint where it doesn't need to be. And I thought back as to why we didn't use it when I was younger and why he was taught to use it. And I realized it's that because for 5 years, my dad was a professional painter and decorator. So he did this 5 days a week. So he got pretty darn good at it. He got really precise. He got really neat. And what I didn't realize is that when we were helping him at home, my mum would sort of distract us until he'd done all the edges. And then we could just go in and dollop paint on the walls without it causing any trouble. So what has this got to do with training design? Well, not a huge amount, except for if you're relatively new to training, to facilitation, to training design, or for designing training for other people, you kind of need to have your masking tape. You may look at other people and think, wow, they're amazing. They're doing all of this stuff off the top of their head. They've literally got one page and they've got a dozen slides and that's all they need. And they pull together this amazing event. The only reason they are doing that without the guardrails, if you like, is because they've done it many, many times. Like my dad, they are highly experienced individuals. So they can just use their experience to do it. If you deliver training or if you're new to designing training and it's not something you do week in, week out, you need to put a few extra measures in place. And you know me well enough by now to know that those extra measures, first and foremost, is your session plan. When you write a session plan, it makes you think through everything you need to do, the order in which you need to do it, how long you're going to need, what materials you're going to need to bring that to life. And it acts as a mental practice. And of course, when you're out there actually running that session, because you haven't run it a million times, because you haven't got all that experience to fall back on, you do have your session plan to fall back on. And it absolutely does not look unprofessional for you to go and glance at your session plan every 20 minutes or so to make sure that you're on track, to make sure that you're not missing anything, and to make sure that things are happening as they should. So unless you train the same thing week in, week out, in which case, go for it. Let's get the equivalent of masking tape involved in our training. So for more hints, tips, ideas, do check out the rest of the YouTube channel. Check out the Training Design podcast. And of course, visit the website, which is www.trainingdesignersclub.co.uk for free and low-cost resources to help make your training design quicker, easier, and less stressful.